Today in our 2013 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited, we'll be installing the Roadmaster Diode 7-wire to 6-wire Flexo-Coil wiring kit, part number RM-15267. Alright, here's what our wiring looks like installed. As you can see, it doesn't take up very much space in the front of the vehicle at all, tucks up nicely out of the way. This will allow us to safely flat tow our vehicle behind our RV and have all of our factory lighting functions still work. We don't have to worry about using magnetic tow lights or having an extra set of lights added to the vehicle to tow it. This utilizes the factory light bulbs already in the vehicle, utilizing diodes. So that way, when you're driving your vehicle normally, you don't have to worry about the lights having an issue. And when we're flat towing our vehicle and it's hooked up with the 7 to 6-way umbilical cord, the diodes will allow any voltage from the RV not to damage any of the sensitive computer and electronic components inside the Jeep. Now that we've gone over some of the features, we'll show you how to get it installed. Now the first thing we need to do is find a suitable location to mount our 6-pole round adapter on the front of our Jeep. Our Jeep today is equipped with an aftermarket bumper, so we're going to go on the driver's side on the top of the bumper, just next to this top riser here on our bumper, so it's out of the way of that. Alright, I marked with a paint marker where our holes are, and I'll drill some pilot holes so our self-tapping screws go through easier. We'll have to supply our own self-tapping screws for this. Take our bracket now and secure it with the self-tapping screws that we provided. Okay, we'll take one end of our 4-pole flat wire here. We'll stick it through our bracket. Now we'll separate all 4 of our wires. Okay, with all 4 of our wires separated, take the end of our dust cover here. We'll slide it over our wire and on down. And we'll strip off some insulation from all 4 wires. Take our connector now. Do our ground wire first. It's the one marked GD. We'll loosen the terminal. And we'll insert our white wire. And we'll tighten the set screw back down. Okay, we'll do our left turn signal now. It's one marked LT. This will also be our left brake light in the vehicle. And that'll get our yellow wire. We'll do our right turn signal now. It's one marked RT. That gets our green wire. Then we'll do our tail light, which is the one that's marked TM. And that gets our brown wire. Make sure all of our wires are nice and secure now. Okay, now we'll seal up our dust cover here with some electrical tape. This will just help prevent any moisture, dirt, or debris from getting inside and causing corrosion or possibly a short. Make sure we wrap this nice and tight. And we'll go down our wires here a little bit too. Now we'll take our wire loom here and we'll slide it over our 4-pole flat wiring. This will help hide our wiring behind the grille of our vehicle, so we don't have any colored wiring sticking out. And we'll tape it up to the end here too. Okay, with that taped up, we'll make sure the other end's taped off too, so the wire doesn't come out of it. Now we'll mount our connector to our bracket using the provided hardware. And then we'll tighten it down with a Phillips screwdriver and a 3/8 wrench. Alright, we went ahead and stuck the end of our wire through our grill opening here to the side of the radiator. Come out right here. We'll pull the rest of it now into our engine bay. Behind this bracket here that holds our engine computer and the washer fluid reservoir. Down behind this bracket for our ABS control module. Went around our horn. We'll left a little bit of wire exposed here for any future connections we need to make with a towed vehicle braking system. Dropped it down our firewall where it came out underneath the vehicle, and we routed it to the back of the vehicle, making sure we avoided any moving parts or sources of heat. We'll show you how we did that now. Next to this insulated section of our brake line, so we just secured it there with a zip tie to help hold it away from the exhaust. We followed this back, have it secured again. We try to tuck it behind this as best as possible to keep it further away from the exhaust. We have one here in front of the muffler. We went over our cross members in our frame. We have it secured to the upper section of our cross member here behind the muffler. Go over our other cross member. Have it secured up here to this filler neck. Went above our rear suspension. Went above the heat shield for our rear muffler, where it comes out behind the muffler, and we have it secured to the wiring here for our tow package. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and remove our taillight assemblies on both sides. We'll start by removing these inner screws. And the whole assembly will pop loose. All right, with our taillight removed, we'll press in this tab here to disconnect the connector and pull it away. And we'll set the light aside where it won't get damaged. Now we'll take the end of our 4-pole flat wiring and we'll bring it up through this hole behind our taillight housing. And just reach up from underneath and pull it on through. Okay, for wiring brought up inside, we'll separate all 4 just like we did on the front. Okay, now this particular vehicle is kind of unique. We can make all of our connections just on the driver's side. And the reason I know we can do this is because our tow package wiring here plugs into this one connector, and all of our connections are made just on this one side. We have our left turn signal and left brake light off this green and white wire here. This orange and white wire here is our tail light signal. This yellow and white wire here is our right turn signal and brake light. So we'll make all of our connections just off these 3 wires. Okay, we'll strip off some insulation on all 4 ends of our wires. On our orange one here, we'll strip back a little bit more than the rest of them on the vehicle inside. Okay, we'll do our tail light wire here first. So our brown wire, measure off about how much we're going to need, cut off the excess, and we'll save it because we need to now strip off the ends of the side that we just cut off and the side that we trimmed. We'll twist these 2 together, and we'll use our yellow butt connector that was attached to one of the diodes. We'll crimp it on, and we'll plug it into the input side of one of our diodes, just like that. Take one of the blue spade connectors, put it on the orange wire, and we'll crimp it down. Sometimes it's easier to hold the connector in your crimpers when you insert it onto the wire. We'll plug that onto the other input side of that diode pack. And the other orange end, we'll install another one of the connectors, crimp it down. We'll plug that to the output side of the diode. Okay, now we'll work off our left turn signal and brake light. That's going to be this yellow wire here that we brought back. We'll cut off the excess, strip off some insulation, and we'll attach a connector. And we'll attach connectors to both ends of our green wire now. Okay, we'll plug our output in towards the connector side. Green wire onto one of the inputs, and then the yellow wire that we brought back on the other side of the input. Now our white wire here is our ground wire. We're just going to attach this to the vehicle sheet metal, measure off how much we're going to need, cut off the excess, strip off some of the insulation here, and we'll attach the provided ring terminal. Okay, we'll take our provided self-tapping screw, stick it on the ring terminal. All right, so we'll attach our ground wire now. We attach it on the bottom versus next to the ground for the tow package just because we couldn't get a good angle on it. All right, we'll drop down our brown wire that we added and then our green wire, and we'll route it over to our passenger side of the vehicle and bring it up through that taillight housing pocket. All right, with our wire, we stuck back through our frame here, routed along the back of our bumper support, and we ran it through here on the other side of the frame, and then we secured it with the zip tie. to our bumper bracket where it goes to the frame, routed our wires up. Those go through a plastic panel which we removed. So we'll just cut a notch here on the back side. Okay, with that notch cut, the wires will sit inside there. When we reinstall this cover, it just snaps into place. Here's what it looks like underneath with it reinstalled and the wires passing through. On our passenger side, this yellow and white wire and this purple and white wire right here. So we'll cut both of these. The yellow ones are turn signal and brake light, and the purple and white wire is our tail light. We'll strip both of those back, and we'll attach the connectors to all 4 wires. Take a diode pack, output side goes towards your connector. So this is the yellow wire, so this is our turn signal. Means we'll get our green wire here. Measure off how much we need. Cut off the excess. Strip it back. Attach the connector. Plug that in the other input side. Do our tail light now. Output goes towards the connector. One of the inputs for the factory wiring. Measure off how much we need. Cut off the excess. Okay, with all of our connections made now, we'll plug back in our tail light housings. Make sure it clips back in place. We'll reinstall the fixture. Okay, we'll repeat the same process on the other side. Alright, we have our 6-way and our 7-way cable plugged in. We're using a trailer tester here because we're treating our vehicle like a trailer. We'll go ahead and turn our tail lights on and see how they work. Now we'll try the left brake light. Alright, now we'll do the right brake light. And that completes our installation of the Roadmaster Diode 7-wire to 6-wire Flexo-Coil wiring kit, part number RM-15267 on our 2013 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited.
Click the link below to shop, learn more, or visit us at eTrailer.com.